Geometry, thanks for tuning in for another episode of Math with Mullins. Today we're looking at our lesson 8.5, triangles with proportionality. So being able to figure out what problems and theorems help us solve using triangle proportionality, and then also talk about the midsegment theorem with triangles and its corollaries. First thing we want to know is, what is a midsegment? So it kind of goes along with a midsegment of a trapezoid. So you've got a triangle, and the midsegment is going to cut in half the lengths of a triangle, okay? So this line right here is called the midsegment. And then the accurate definition, or the definition we want to use here, is just a segment that connects the midpoints of the legs of a triangle. So that's all we really need to know for the midsegment of a triangle. Now let's go ahead and talk about the triangle proportionality theorem. It says if a line is parallel to one side of a triangle and intersects the other two sides, then it divides the sides into segments of proportional lengths. So if DE here is parallel to AC, then we can set up a proportion showing that BD to AD can be proportional to BE over CE. Okay? The converse of that is just going to state if BD over AD is proportional to BE over CE, then DE is parallel to AC. Okay? And we're going to try that with the next few examples. So example 1 says, if triangle BCD, PQ is parallel to CD. If QD is equal to 14.5, BP is equal to 9, and PC is equal to 15, find BQ. So we're using that triangle proportionality theorem, which states if I have two parallel lines, then I can set up a proportion to find the missing segment lengths. So 9 to 15 will be equal in proportionality to x over 14.5. I'm going to cross multiply. I'm going to get 15x is equal to 130.5. So x is equal to 8.7. Let's see if you can try example 2 on your own. If you want to pause the video here, go ahead and try it. And when you're ready to check it, go ahead and click play. So this one starts off the same way. It says FH is parallel to BC in triangle FGH. GB is 14.4. BF is 4.8. And then GH is 21. Find CH. Okay, so one thing I might have to do here is I can still set it up the same way, or what I can do is compare GH to GF. So what I might do here is find that entire length. So I'd be adding 14.4 and 4.8 together. That is going to give me 19.2. Then I use 4.8 and x the same way I would use 19.2 and 21. So 4.8 represents a tiny portion of B to F to 19.2, which is the entire length of GF, is the same proportionality as CH to 21. When I cross multiply, I'm going to end up getting 19.2x is equal to 100.8. And then dividing both sides by x, I should get x is equal to 5.25. Okay. Onward to example 3. Again, if you would like to pause the video here, this is a good example to try just because you'll have some distribution to do with your proportion. All right, how I set this one up is I just took 6 to 21 and set that equal in proportionality to x minus 1 over 3x plus 1. Cross multiplying, I'm going to get 18x plus 6 is equal to 21x minus 21. And then we're going to move everything so it can be on the same side. So I'm going to add 21 to both sides and subtract 18x from both sides. I'm going to get 3x is equal to 27. So x is equal to 9. And then example 4, again, trying this one on your own, it says determine if mn is parallel to jk. So now we're going to use the corollary of that, which is just if these are proportional, then I can determine if they're parallel. So one thing I did here is I took 15 over 4 and set it equal to 18 over 5. Okay? Two things you can do. You can decide if the ratios are the same decimal. You can also cross multiply. So we can try cross multiplying. And you can also test each ratio. So if I cross multiplied, 15 times 5 is 75, but 4 times 18 is 72. Okay, so these 75 does not equal 72. So we would say not proportional. The other way you could do that is take 15 and divide it by 4. That's giving me 3.75. And then 18 divided by 5 is giving me 3.6, so also not proportional. So we would say no because, and then you can say sides aren't proportional. Okay. Next part, proportional parts of parallel lines. If 3 or more parallel lines intersect 2 transversals, then they cut off the transversals proportionally. So now we're going to see how we can write a proportion based off of transversal. So if AB is parallel to CD and is parallel to EF, then we can set up a proportion. AC over CE is proportional to BD over DF. Okay? We're going to try a few more examples here, and that's going to end day 1 of our notes. So let's see how we got this. So we have example 5, finding the value of x. We can see that these are 3 parallel lines, which means 45 to 18 is the same proportionality as 52 over x. So I'd cross multiply to get 45x is equal to 936, and divide by 45, I'm going to get 20.8. Example 6, also finding the value of x. I realize that this entire length is 92, so see if you can pause the video here, try to solve for x, and when you're done, click play to check. Okay, something I did was found out the missing piece here is this to be 64, because I did 92 minus 28, and I got 64. Then I set up my proportion. 28 over 64 is proportional to 31.5 over x. I get 28x is equal to 2016, x is equal to 72. And then our last part here, finding the value of x. This is going to conclude day 1. I'm still going to continue the video, but this is where we're going to stop for day 1. So finding the value of x, I'm going to still set up my proportion. 2x plus 2 over 21 is the same proportionality as x plus 3 over 12. Cross multiply. 12 times 2x and 2 is 24x plus 2, or 24x plus 24. Almost made that mistake. And then 21 times x plus 3, that's 21x plus 63. We're going to get all our x's to the same side and the numbers to the same side. So I'm going to end up with 3x is equal to 39. So x is equal to 13. Okay? This is where we are going to end day 1. So if you're doing the first worksheet, this is all that's going to be on the worksheet. Let's go ahead and keep going though to see what happens for day 2. Okay? Day 2, we're going to see a little bit more interesting things. So start day 2 here. And this one says, find the values of x and y. Something we haven't seen yet is this right here. So from j to k is the same length as k to l. So I can use that information to start to solve for y. 4y minus 1 is equal to y plus 8. I'm going to add 1 minus y. I'm going to get 3y is equal to 9. So y is equal to 3. The reason why I started this is because I need to know this information in order to set up the rest of my proportion to solve for x. So if y is equal to 3, 4 times 3 minus 1 is equal to 11. And same thing here, 3 plus 8 is equal to 11. So now I can set up my proportion for the rest of that. 2x plus 8 over 7x minus 12 is equal to 11 over 11. Really, you're going to be cross multiplying here. So 22x plus 88 is equal to 77x minus 132. And then I can subtract my x's to be on the same side, add my number to be on the same side. I'm going to get 55x is equal to 270. And then, or no, it's 220. That's too hard, too big. Dividing both by sides by 55, x should be equal to 4. So there we go. All right, last little bit of 8.5, triangle mid-segment theorem. This one's kind of wordy, so we're going to take our time explaining this one. If a segment joins the midpoints of two sides of a triangle, then the segment is parallel to the third side and half as long. Okay? So what that means is we have this middle triangle in here, and each one of these points is representing where my mid-segment would go. That just means if I'm looking at this piece right here, this mid-segment is going to be parallel to side AB. That also represents half of AB. So if AB is 28, then RQ would be 14. So that's just maybe a good visual to give you. That is true for almost every other side of the midpoint. I'm going to erase and use those same numbers again. Let's say CB is 14 because RP is separating the triangle into two sides mid-segment. RP is showing that mid-segment theorem that it can be half as long as 14, so that could be 7, okay? We could continue to rotate this around, and that's what it's going to appear. So let's use that information and try example 9. In the figure, FG, GH, and FH are all mid-segments of triangle ABC. Find each measure. So let's start here with AC. AC is this long line here, and it is parallel to GH. GH is half as long as AC, so to find AC, I would be doing 16.25 times 2, and I'm going to get 32.5. So I'm going to have you pause the video here, see if you can fill in the rest of those blanks, and when you're ready to check it, go ahead and click play. All right, let's try some others. AB. AB is down here. AB is parallel to FG, so FG is just half as long, so I could take 19.5, multiply that by 2 to get AB, and I'm going to get 39. Next up is CB. Let's use orange. CB is here. CB is parallel to 14. 14 is half as long, So to find CB, I'm going to do 14 times 2, which is 28. The rest of these, we're just essentially cutting things in half. So CG is half of that. That's going to be 14. And then AH is half of 39, which is at 19.5. Okay. Last two examples. Example 10. F, G, and H are all midpoints of the sides triangle CDE. We have FG is equal to 9, GH is 7, and CD is 24. Find each measure. Let's pause the video, try it on your own. When you're done, click play so we can check it. All right, one thing I did here is I labeled FG as 9, GH is 7, and then C to D is 24. That always gives me a good visual to start with. CE is next. CE is down here, and it is parallel to GH, so I'm just going to do GH times 2. That's going to be 7 times 2, which is 14. The next one is DE. DE is here. DE is parallel to 9, so 9 is this halfway point, so 9 times 2 is going to give me 18. And then FH is here. FH is parallel with my 24, so which would mean it's half as long as 24, so that is equal to 12. Okay? Last one, finding the value of x. We see that this is a midsegment here, so that means this guy is half as long as the full one. So if I took 2 of 6x plus 31, it can be equal to 19x minus 36. So 2 times 3x plus 2 times 6x plus 31 is 12x plus 62, and that'll be equal to the 19x minus 36. So I'm going to subtract 12x from both sides, add 36 to both sides. I'm going to end up with 98 is equal to 7x, so that means x is equal to 14. And that will finally conclude our lesson on 8.5, Triangle Proportionality. This lesson was jam-packed with a lot of things, so thanks for hanging in there, and stay tuned for our next video when we talk about our test review. Have a great day. Bye.